Hello friends, my name is Mayanka. I am accounts and a finance trainer from UPLEX. Today we will cover the topic of consolidated financial statements. Consolidated financial statement. We will cover this topic in 4 parts. This is part 1. Today we will cover part 1. In this part we will discuss what is the consolidated financial statement, why it is prepared, what is the group company, what is the holding company, and what is the subsidiary company, and all other relevant point and the important point of such topic. Now we will start part 1 of consolidated financial statement. Consolidated financial statement. Number 1, the concept of group, holding company and subsidiary company. Now we will discuss what is the group company, what is the holding company, and what is the subsidiary companies. Group of the companies. What is the group company or what is the groups of the company? Many a time a company expands by keeping intact its separate corporate entity. In the case of business, when the company has large business, then the company want to spread and want to expand their business. It wants to expand their business. So for the purpose of this, they create separate corporate entities. In this situation, the company gain the control over the other companies. Is that in the case when there is any company which hold and which have the control over the another company, then this is to be known as group of the company. For the example, there is a company which have the control over the some different companies, means it has the control on A company, B company, and C company. Then the group of all these company is to be known as group of company. And the company which have the control on all these company, such company is to be known as holding company. And the other companies are to be known as subsidiary company, joint venture, or associate. Is that a company gains control over the other company is to be known as holding company, and on which it has the control, it has the subsidiary company. This control is exercised by one company over the other. Is that if one company can exercise the control on the another company by number 1, purchasing the specific number of shares. Is that a company can control over the another company by purchasing the specific number of shares. Is that by purchasing the shares of the company can control over the another company. Number 2, exercising control over the board of directors of the company. When a company exercising the control, when a company exercising the control over the board of director of another company, then it is to be known as, or it is to be considered that such a company has the control on such another company by the exercising the control on the directors, over the directors. The company connected in this way are collectively called group of the company. Is that when the companies which are connected each other in such a way is to be known as group company. For the example, there is a company A Limited and it has the control in the different company. It has control in B Limited, in C Limited, and D Limited. So such A Limited is to be known as holding company, and B Limited, C Limited, and D Limited is to be considered as subsidiary company, and the group of these company is to be known as group of companies. Means the group of A, B, C, D is to be known as group of companies. So this is the meaning of group company. The next is holding company. What is the meaning of holding company? Normally the holding company means the company which have the control over the another company. When in the group company, the company which have the control on the other companies, then such company is to be known as holding company. As per section 2, subsection 46 of the Companies Act 2013, section 2, subsection 46 of the Companies Act 2013 define the meaning of holding company. What is the meaning of holding company? Holding company in the relation to one or more companies means a company for which such company are subsidiary company. Is that the company which have the control on other companies or other subsidiary companies, then such company is to be known as holding company. Holding company in the relation to one or more other company means a company of which such company are subsidiary. Is that the company which have control on the subsidiary company, then the company is to be known as holding company. It may be defined as one which has one or more subsidiary company and enjoy the control over them. Is that the holding company is a company which have one or more subsidiary company and it has the control over the subsidiary company. Legally, a holding company and a subsidiary company are distinct and separate entities. Legally, the holding company and the subsidiary company both are different and they are the separate. They are the separate companies. They are different. These companies are the different from the each other. These companies are the different from the each other. However, in substance, holding and the subsidiary company work as a group. In the substance, the holding company and the subsidiary company work as a group. Accordingly, user of holding company's account need financial information of subsidiary company also to understand the performance and the financial position of group. Is that in the case of when there is a holding company and when the subsidiary company, then the holding company prepare the consolidated financial statement. They prepare the financial statement. On the basis of these financial statement, the user of holding company also want to obtain the information about the subsidiary company so that they can understand the performance and the financial position of the group. Is that on the basis of this information, the user of the financial statement can understand and can obtain the knowledge about the performance and the financial position of a group. Means they can know about the information about the holding company as well as the subsidiary companies. So this is the definition of holding company. The next is subsidiary company. What is the meaning of subsidiary? Subsidiary company. Subsidiary company means Section 2, subsection 87 of the Companies Act 2013 define the meaning of subsidiary company. Section 2, subsection 87 of the Companies Act define the meaning of subsidiary company means a company in which the holding company, the subsidiary company means the holding company in which control the composition of board of director. When a holding company control the composition of board of director of the company or exercise or control more than half of the total share capital, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary company. Is that when there is any holding company have any control on the board of director over the board of director or has the control or exercise the control more than 50% of the share capital of such company, either itself or by the one or more subsidiary company, then such company is to be known as subsidiary company, then such company is to be known as subsidiary company. A company shall be deemed to be subsidiary company of a holding company even if there is an indirect control through the subsidiary companies. Is that if there is any company, if there is a indirect control, if there is any indirect control through the subsidiary company, then such company will also be considered as subsidiary company. Is that a subsidiary company shall be deemed, a subsidiary company shall be deemed, a company shall be deemed a subsidiary company of a holding company even if there is indirect control through the subsidiary companies. The control over the composition of the subsidiary company's board of directors means exercise of power to appoint or remove all or a majority of director of the subsidiary company. Is that when there is any holding company which have the control over the composition of subsidiary company, then it means that such holding company has the power, such holding company has the power to excise, such holding company has the power to appoint or to remove all the director of the subsidiary company or the majority of the director of subsidiary company. So this is the definition of subsidiary company. When the holding company hold the control over the any company's board of directors, or when the holding company hold more than 50% of the shares, then such company is to be known as subsidiary companies. Wholly owned and partly owned subsidiary. What is the meaning of wholly owned and partly owned subsidiary company? Now we will discuss the wholly owned subsidiary company and the partly owned subsidiary companies. Wholly owned subsidiary company and partly owned subsidiary company. Differences. Number one, a wholly owned subsidiary company is one in which all the shares are owned by the holding company. Wholly owned subsidiary company is a company in which all the shares are owned by holding company, in which all the shares are owned by holding company. But a partly owned subsidiary company is a company in which all the shares of the holding company are not acquired by holding company. In the case of wholly owned company, all the shares are held by the holding company. But in the case of partly owned subsidiary company, all the shares of the subsidiary company are not held by the holding company or acquired by the holding company. Is that only the majority, means more than 50% shares are owned by the holding company. Only more than 50% shares are held by the holding company, not total or all the shares are held by holding company. In the case of wholly owned subsidiary company, 100% voting right. In the case of holding 100% holding or wholly owned subsidiary company, the 100% voting right are vested by the holding company. In the case of wholly owned subsidiary company, 100% voting rights, 100% voting right are vested with the holding company. But in the case of partly owned subsidiary company, more than 50% voting right, more than 50% voting right, but less than 100% voting right are vested with the holding company. More than 50% or less than 100%. In the case of wholly owned subsidiary company, there is no majority interest. In the case of wholly owned subsidiary company, there is no majority interest because all the shares with voting rights are held by the holding company. In the case of wholly owned subsidiary company, there is no majority interest because all the shares with the voting rights are held by the holding company. In the case of partly owned subsidiary company, there is a majority interest because less than 50% share with the voting right are held by outsider other than holding company. In the case of partly owned subsidiary company, there is a majority interest because less than 50% shareholding with the voting right are held by the outsider other than holding companies. Now we will discuss the purpose for preparing the consolidated financial statement. What are the purpose? What are the purpose for the preparation of consolidated financial statement? Why there is a requirement to prepare the consolidated financial statement? Purpose of preparation of financial statements. Consolidated financial statement are the financial statement of the groups. The consolidated financial statement are the financial statement of a group, which is presented as those of the single enterprise, where a group refers to a partner, to a parent, and or its subsidiary. Is that the consolidated financial statements are the statement which present group in a single statement. Is that in the consolidated financial statement, all the details of subsidiary and the holding company is mentioned. Means such consolidated financial statement contain the financial information of group of all the group companies. Parent company need to inform the user about the financial position and the result of operation, not only their enterprises but also the financial but also of the group as a whole. Is that when there is any holding company which contain many subsidiary company, then such a holding company is required to provide all the financial information or the result of the operation of not only its own organization, not only for or of their organization or enterprises. It will also disclose all the financial information and operation of the subsidiary company. For this purpose, the consolidated financial statements are prepared and presented by the holding company. So, for the purpose to provide all the financial information of the parent company and of the subsidiary company, the holding company prepare the consolidated financial statement, because on the basis of these consolidated financial statement, the holding company can present financial position and the financial performance of its own as well as or its subsidiary company by such a single statement. And in such consolidated financial statement, the information are presented in such a way that there is only a single entity. Is that the consolidated financial statement are prepared in such a manner that there is only a single group of the company, and on the basis of these statement, the user of the financial statement can obtain the information not only about the holding company, they can also obtain the information about the subsidiary company also. Consolidated financial statements are intended to show the financial position of a group as a whole. The consolidated financial statement show the financial position. The consolidated financial statement show the financial position of a group as a whole by showing the economic resource controlled by them, by presenting the obligation of the group company and the result of the group which is achieved with its resources. Is that the consolidated financial statement present financial position not only of its own, but it also present the information about the financial position about all the subsidiary company as a group company or as a single entity. Consolidated financial statement normally include consolidated balance sheet. Consolidated financial statement normally include consolidated balance sheet, consolidated statement of profit and loss account, and notes, other statements, and explanatory material that form an integral part thereof. The consolidated financial statement include consolidated balance sheet, consolidated statement of profit and loss account, and notes and other statements and explanatory material that form an integral part. The consolidated cash flow statement is presented in the case a parent presents its own cash flow statement. Is that if the holding company present its own cash flow statement, then there is a requirement to prepare the consolidated cash flow statement. If the holding company does not prepare its if a holding company is not prepare its cash flow statement, is that the provision of the cash flow statement are not applicable on the holding company, then there is no need to prepare consolidated cash flow statement. The consolidated financial statement are prepared to the extent possible in the same format as that adopted by the parent for its separate financial statement. Is that the consolidated financial statement should be prepared in the same format as the financial statement are prepared by the parent company. Is that these financial statements are to be prepared in such a format in which the parent company prepare its own separate financial statement. So these are the consolidated financial statements. Now we discuss the exceptions for the preparation of consolidated financial statement. According to the provision, the holding company which has a subsidiary company, then such holding company is required to prepare its consolidated financial statement. But as per the provision of the Companies Act 2016, as per the Companies Amendment Rule 2016, there are certain exceptions in the respect of preparation of consolidated financial statement. Is that there are some exceptions for the preparation of consolidated financial statement. As per Companies Amendment Rule 2016, preparation of consolidated financial statement by a company is not required if it meets the following condition. Is that as per the Company Amendment Rules 2016, the consolidated financial statement are not required to be prepared by the company if it meet the following conditions. Number one, it is a wholly owned subsidiary. If it is a wholly owned subsidiary company, or it is a partly owned subsidiary company of another company, and all its other members. Number one, it is a wholly owned subsidiary company, or it is a partly owned subsidiary company of the another company, and all its other members, including those not otherwise entitled to vote, having been intimated in writing and for which the proof of delivery of such intimation is available with the company, do not object to the company not presenting consolidated financial statement. Is that the consolidated financial statement is not required to be prepared where it is a wholly owned subsidiary company, or it is partly owned subsidiary company of the another company, and all the members, including those members who are not entitled to vote. And there is the intention of all the members or all the company or the another company that there is no need, there is not required to prepare the consolidated financial statement. If there is an intimation, if there is an intimation in writing and for which the proof of delivery of such intimation is available with the company, then the company will not be required to prepare the consolidated financial statement if it is intimated by the company or by the members of the company. Then in this case, there is no need to prepare consolidated financial statements. Number two exception it is a company whose securities are not listed or not in the process of listing of any stock exchange, whether in or outside India. Is that if there is any company whose shares are not listed in the recognized stock exchange or not in the process of listing on the stock exchange in India or outside India, then such organization is need not be required to prepare the consolidated financial statement. Number three exception, third exception is it ultimate or any intermediate holding company file consolidated financial statement with the registrar which are in compliance with the applicable accounting standard. Is that its ultimate or any intermediary holding company file the consolidated financial statement with the registrar where it is required by the applicable accounting standard. If it is required by the applicable accounting standard, then the holding company will prepare and file the consolidated financial statement with the registrar. Accounting Standard 21 also lay down the accounting principles and procedure. Accounting Standard 21 lay down the principle for the preparation and the presentation of consolidated financial statement. Accounting Standard 21 contain the provision for the preparation and the presentation of consolidated financial statements. Now we will discuss control. What is the meaning of control? According to the definition of holding or the subsidiary company, when there is any company which have the control over the director of the company, then it is to be considered as holding company. So what is the meaning of control? What is the meaning of control? The consolidated financial statement are prepared on the basis of financial statement of the parent company. The consolidated financial statement of the organization are prepared on the basis of financial statement of parent company and all enterprises that are controlled by the parent company. Is that the financial statement are prepared for the holding company and for the subsidiary company which are controlled by the such holding company. For the purpose of this standard, the enterprises is considered to control the composition of. Is that for this purpose, the control is considered as the control the composition of number one, the board of directors of the company. Is that when the holding company has the control on the or over the board of directors of the company. If it has a power without the consent or consequence of any other person to appoint or remove all or a majority of the director of that company. Is that when the holding company has the control over the board of directors of the company, is that such company has the power to appoint or to remove all of the director or the majority of the director of company. Then we can say that such company has the control on the subsidiary. An enterprise is deemed to have the power to appoint the director if any of the following condition is satisfied. Is that if any of the condition is satisfied, then we can say that such enterprises has the power to appoint the director. Condition number one is the person cannot be appointed as a director without exercise in his favor by the enterprises of such a power as aforesaid. Number one condition is a person cannot be appointed. A person cannot be appointed as a director without the exercise in his favor by the enterprise of such a power as official. Or a person appointed as a director, if there is a person who is appointed as a director, follow all the necessary from his appointment to a position which is held by them in the enterprise, is that he will follow all the necessary from appointment to position which is held by him in the enterprise, or the director is nominated by that enterprises or the subsidiary thereto. If the following conditions are satisfied, then we can say that the enterprises has the power to appoint the directors. Number two, Number two control means the governing body of the enterprises that is not a company. The governing body of the enterprises that is not a company, if it has the power without the consent or without the concurrence of any other person to appoint or to remove all the majority of members of the governing body of such enterprise, is that when there is any organization or there is any enterprises has the power without any consent or without any concurrence of any person, they has the power to appoint or to remove or the majority of members of the governing body of such enterprises, then we can say that such enterprises has the control over the subsidiary. And enterprises is deemed to be have the power to appoint a member. A enterprises is to be considered that it has the power to appoint the member if any of the following condition is satisfied. If any of the following condition is satisfied. Number one, a person cannot be appointed as a member of the governing body without the exercise in the favor by that other enterprise of such a power as aforesaid. Number one, a person cannot be appointed. A person cannot be appointed as a member of the governing body without the exercise in his favor by that other enterprise of such a power as aforesaid. Or a person's appointment as a member of the governing body follow necessarily from his appointment to the position which is held by him in that other enterprise, or the member of governing body is nominated by that other enterprise. If any of the condition is satisfied, if any of the condition is satisfied, then it is to be considered that such enterprises has the power to appoint a member. If any of the condition is satisfied, that it is to be considered that such enterprises has the power to appoint the member. Now we will discuss the advantage of consolidated financial statement. What are the advantage of consolidated financial statement? Now we will discuss advantages. Advantage of consolidation. Number one, acquisition of subsidiary, evaluation of holding company in the market. Number third, intrinsic value of share. And number fourth is single source document. Now we will discuss all the advantages of the consolidated financial statement in the detailed form. The main advantage of the consolidated financial statement are given as follows. Number one is single source document. Single source document. From the consolidated financial statement, the user of the account can get the overall picture of group. Is that on the basis of consolidated financial statement, the user of the financial statement can know about the financial position and the financial performance of the group. Is that they can know about the information about the financials not only of a particular holding company. They can also know about the information about the parent company also. Consolidated financial statement provide financial performance and the financial position of the group company. Consolidated profit and loss account gives the overall profitability. It will provide information about the overall profitability of the group. Consolidated profit and loss account provide the overall profitability. It is provide not only the profitability of the group company, but also the profitability of subsidiary company. Intrinsic value of share. Intrinsic value of share. Intrinsic share value of the holding company can be calculated directly from the consolidated balance sheet. Is that the intrinsic value of the share can be calculated by the consolidated balance sheet. By the use of consolidated balance sheet, we can calculate the value of, we can calculate the intrinsic value of share. Acquisition of subsidiaries. Acquisition of subsidiaries. The majority interest data of the consolidated financial statement indicate that the amount which is payable to the outside shareholder of the subsidiary company at book value, which is used at the starting point of bargaining at the time of acquisition of a subsidiary by the holding company. Acquisition of subsidiary means the majority interest data of the consolidated financial statement indicate that the amount which is payable to the outside shareholder, of the subsidiary company at book value, which is used as the starting point of bargaining at the time of acquisition of a subsidiary by the holding company. Evaluation of holding company in the market. By the consolidated financial statement, we can evaluate the holding company, value of holding company in the market. Is that the overall financial health of the holding company can be judged on the basis of consolidated financial statement. Is that on the basis of consolidated financial statement, the user of the financial statement can judge the financial position or the financial health of the holding company. Those who want to invest in the share of holding company or acquire it need consolidated financial or consolidated statement for the evaluation purpose. Is that on the basis of consolidated financial statement, the investor who want to invest in the holding company and who want to purchase the shares or want to acquire the share of the holding company, then on the basis of consolidated financial statement, they can evaluate the financial position and the financial health of the organization, and on the basis of this, they can take the proper decision whether to invest in such organization or not. So these all are the benefits or the advantage for the preparation of financial statement. On the basis of consolidated financial statement, the user can obtain the information about the financial position and the financial performance of the group. Number 2, we can calculate the intrinsic value. And on the basis of this, on the basis of consolidated financial statement, the user can also obtain and can take the decision in the respect of their investment. And they can also, and consolidated financial statement are also very much important for the acquisition of subsidiary. So these all are the advantages of the consolidated financial statements. Now we will discuss the components of consolidated financial statement. What are the components? What are the components of the consolidated financial statement. Now we will discuss components and the parts of consolidated financial statements. So, as per Accounting Standard 21, consolidated financial statement includes the following component. As per Accounting Standard 21, the consolidated financial statement includes the following. Number 1, consolidated balance sheet. Number 2, consolidated statement of profit and loss account. Number 3, consolidated cash flow statement. And number 4, notes and the statement and explanatory schedule. Number 1, consolidated balance sheet. Number 2, consolidated statement of profit and loss account. Number 3, consolidated cash flow statement. In case parent present its cash flow statement. And number 4, notes and the statement and explanatory schedules. These are the components of the consolidated financial statements. The consolidated financial statement shall disclose the information as per the requirement which are specified in the applicable accounting standard and including the following as per the requirement of Schedule 3 of the Companies Act, which contain the general instruction for the preparation of consolidated financial statement. Is that the consolidated financial statement is the statement which is disclosed. It is disclose all the relevant information or all the required information which are applicable or which are specified in the accounting standard, and it will also provide all the requirement. It will also provide all the information which are required by Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, which contain the general information and general instructions for the preparation and the presentation of consolidated financial statement. These general instructions for the preparation and the presentation of consolidated financial statement are: number 1, the profit or loss attributable to majority interest and to owners of the parent in the statement of profit and loss shall be presented as allocation for the period. Number first instruction is the profit and loss which is attributable to majority interest. The profit and loss which is attributable or which is related to the majority interest and to the owner of parent in the statement of profit and loss account shall be allocated for the period. Number 2, minority interest in the balance sheet within equity. Minority interest in the balance sheet within equity shall be presented separately from the equity of the owner of the parent. Minority interest is required to be shown separately in the balance sheet from the equity of the owner of the parent company. Now we will discuss consolidation process. What is the consolidation process in the case of consolidation financial statement? Means what is the procedure of consolidation? What is the process of consolidation? So, Rule 6 of the Companies Rule 2014 states that the manner of consolidation of the financial statement. Rule 6 of the Companies Rule 2013 contains the procedure and the manner in which the consolidated financial statement of the company, in which the consolidation of the financial statement of the company shall be in the accordance with the provision of Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013 and according to the applicable accounting standard. Accounting Standard 21 lay down the procedure. Accounting Standard 21 lay down the procedure for the consolidation of the financial statement of company within the group. Is that Accounting Standard 21 contains the procedure for the consolidation of financial statement. When preparing the consolidated financial statement, the individual balance of the parent and its subsidiary are combined and consolidated on the line by line basis. Is that for the preparation of consolidated financial statement, the individual balance of parent company, the individual balance of parent company and the individual balance of subsidiary company are combined, are required to be combined and consolidated on line by line basis. And then certain consolidation adjustment are made. First, all the balance of holding company and the subsidiary company are combined and consolidated line by line. Then after, there is a requirement of consolidation adjustments. The objective of the consolidation is that the consolidated financial statement should present the information which is contained in the combined or consolidated financial statement of the parent and its subsidiary as if they were the financial statement of single entity. Is that the main objective of the consolidation is that the consolidated financial statement provide the information, or these statements contain the information of the parent company or of the subsidiary company in such a form that it is a group or it is a single entity. Means the consolidated financial statement contain the information of all subsidiary company or the holding company in such a form that on the basis of which we can say that it is the financial statement of a single entity. The various steps involved in the consolidation process are as follows. There are the various steps which are involved in the consolidation process. Number one, the cost of the parent of the investment. The cost of parents of its investment in each subsidiary and the parent portion of the equity of each subsidiary at the date on which investment in each subsidiary are made should be eliminated. For the purpose of consolidation, first, the cost of investment which are in the balance sheet of a holding company and the parent portion of equity in each subsidiary company should be eliminated. First, we will eliminate the investment which is made by the holding company in the subsidiary company, and in the subsidiary company or in the subsidiary balance sheet, we will eliminate the amount of share capital or the part of the share capital which is held by the holding company. In case the cost of acquisition exceed or it may be less. In this case, the amount of the investment which is held by the holding company may be more or it may be less at the date when the investments are made. So in this case, the goodwill or the capital reserve will be recognized in the consolidated financial statement. In this case, the cost of the investment may be high or may be low in comparative to the part of capital. So in this case, the goodwill or the capital reserve will be recognized or will be calculated in the consolidated financial statement. Second step, intra-group transaction, including sales, expenses, and dividend are eliminated in full. Is that during the year, if there is any intra-group transaction, is that intra-group sale, intra-group purchase, intra-group expenses, intra-group dividend, then all these intra-group transactions should be properly and fully eliminated. Third is adjustment in the respect of unrealized profit and unrealized loss should be made. Adjustment in the respect of unrealized profit and the unrealized loss should be made. The fourth, My minority interest in the net income of consolidated subsidiary for the reporting period are identified and adjusted against the income of group in order to arrive at the net income, which is attributable to the owner of parent. Minority interest in the net income of the consolidated subsidiary for the reporting period are identified and it should be adjusted against the income of group in order to arrive at the net income, which is attributable to the owner of parent. And the next step is minority interest in the net assets of the consolidated subsidiary should be identified. Minority interest in the net assets of subsidiary should be identified and presented in the consolidated balance sheet separately from the liability and the equity. Minority interest in the net assets consists of the minority interest in the net assets include of number one, the amount of equity which is attributable to majority at the date on which investment in the subsidiary is made. Number one, the amount of equity. Which is related to the minorities at the date on which investment are made in the subsidiary. And it will also include the minority interest, minority share of movement in the equity since the date the parent subsidiary relationship came into existence. It will include. The next step is the result of operations. The result of the operations of the subsidiary are included in the consolidated financial statement as from the date on which parent and subsidiary relationship comes into existence. The next step is the investment in the enterprise should be accounted in the accordance with Accounting Standard 30. The investment which is made in the enterprises should be accounted for in the accordance with Accounting Standard 30, accounting for investment from the date that the enterprises cease to be subsidiary and does not become the associate. When it is ceased to be subsidiary, then the investment are to be valued or are to be recognized as per the Accounting Standard 30. The carrying amount of the investment at the date that is ceased to be subsidiary is regarded as cost thereafter. The carrying amount of the investment at the date that ceased to be subsidiary is regarded as the cost thereafter. So, on the basis of this, we have discussed the procedure of consolidation. The procedure of consolidation of financial statement. So, in this class, we have discussed what is the consolidated financial statement, what is the group of company, what is the holding company, what is the subsidiary companies, and content of consolidated financial statement and importance of consolidated financial statement, purpose of consolidated financial statement. This is the part 1 of consolidated financial statement. In other parts, part 2, part 3 and part 4, we will discuss all other important and the relevant point which is relating to the such a concept. Kindly consider all the parts of this topic so that you can properly understand such a topic. Thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, bye-bye and have a nice day.